No man wants another mother in his life. One mother is enough. In most cases, women are right. But the presentation makes the man feel like, I know you are right deep inside of me, but I will not do it. Because you didn't communicate it well.
I'm your wife. I should be able to say things to you without, yes sir, can you honorably go and brush your teeth, sir?
You can give the feeling like, your wala is too much, let me give you. That's not what I want. Then after I buy the car, you now come and say, you know the family people, excuse me, we agreed on this thing together. Don't come back.
On this episode, I'll be asking you a question: who really runs the world? Some will say it's a man's world. Others will say, who runs the world? Girls, girls, who runs the world? Girls, who runs this? All right. But you see, in my sojourn in life, I've come to see that men and women are like on a parallel. But you see, no matter what we do as women, on the E.B.U.N show, we talk so much about womanhood, the things we go through, the rites of passage. But at some point, whether in marriage, in friendship, we get to intersect with men. Matter of fact, our world is not balanced without men in it. So today, to have a better understanding of the men's world, we'll be discussing what men wish women knew. And on the show today, I'm bringing somebody very practical because, matter of fact, if you're not practical, there's nothing you're doing on the E.B.U.N show. I have Timi Agbeyo. He is an architect, but of course, he also has a very good marriage. So I want him to make us understand, to be the mouthpiece of the men as to what they really want us to know. You are welcome on the E.B.U.N show. I am Ebolomo. You're welcome on the set of the E.B.U.N show.
Thank you.
And this is Timi Agbeyo. He married my baby girl. Oh, creamy bunch. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So, and together we'll be discussing or I would be asking you, because I don't think I really have a say in this, what men wish their women knew, right? Yes. So my first question to you would be, what is the number one thing that men want, but will scarcely express, scarcely say that I want?
I think the number one thing that we hardly say, because sometimes there is no way you can explain it that will not, it will not project that you are being difficult. But really, no man wants another mother in his life. One mother is enough. For example, I love my mother. Oh, I love my mom. But as much as I love her, I don't want my mother as a wife. If you understand what I'm saying. So, generally speaking, women, they are nurturers. Their job is to, nurture, grow things. So sometimes, especially when you now have a child that you're, training, there is a particular way you want your child to behave. Sometimes women direct that also to the man, having this.
They want to add you to our children.
Just go and do that. And men are not wired like that. For example, an average man functions by reason, not just control. I need to understand why I want to do what I want to do and things like that. So when you come off at me as, like my mom, go to the inside, go and brush your teeth. Madam, calm down.
But you should brush your teeth.
Yes, but I think now this is the way I say it. For example, if you want to communicate with your boss, if you disagree with your boss, there is a way you say it.
Okay, is it in how it is being said or actually saying it?
I think everything has to be about how it's being presented. You see, you can tell somebody you are foolish and it'll be like, oh, and you can say to the same person you are foolish and the person will get angry. Presentation is really important. So sometimes, you see, this is the issue. Sometimes, in fact, in most cases, I hate to admit this first, it's the truth. In most cases, women are right. But the presentation makes the man feel like, I know you are right deep inside of me, but I will not do it. Because you didn't communicate it well. So anything that make me feel like an idiot, you will find resistance.
I think I've heard it a lot about this issue of respect.
Yeah.
Respect, right?
Yeah.
I've also had that issue where my husband would say, I don't feel you're respecting me enough. And I'm like, I'm just saying this thing, right? So I feel from that angle of we're coming as friends, most married people come from meeting themselves in school. And when we were dating, we just used to be friends.
Yeah.
I could hit you like, what's wrong with you? We used to be guys.
Yeah.
Then we get into marriage and then the things we used to say becomes an issue, or how it used to be said. Like I could just say, guy, come out this thing for there, like we were friends. And it looks like we cannot bring that form of friendship into marriage. Is that what it is when it comes to respect?
Yeah, I think people's reality changed. When we were boyfriend and girlfriend, or we were just friends, I mean, I didn't have responsibility, I didn't have pressure. I mean, what am I doing with my life? I can sit with you all day. But my reality is different now. I'm responsible for people's lives. I have kids that I'm growing. I have bills to pay. You understand? Now, sometimes, you see, there is what I call accumulated stress. In fact, you don't know that you're accumulating stress as a man. It's a lot of work to be a man, especially if you want to be responsible in this day and age. So there are a lot of pressures on your head. There are a lot of things you are thinking about. Then at that point, you set me on edge when you say some things that, I do. There are some things that when I'm not under pressure, if you say to me, I don't like, but I won't mind. But it's different from when I have like 300 things, there is pressure here, my boss in the office is stressing me, all those things come together, then you come and start complaining that I didn't put my brush somewhere. There's a way you just feel like, what's going on here? Madam, leave me. So people's reality change, and that's why I realized that it's possible to be fantastic boyfriend and girlfriend and not be fantastic husband and wife. Because the reality changes. The things that we experience change. Then we grow. We are exposed to new things. Somebody that is used to being respected in the office, you now have a secretary, wants to say hello, those kind of. Then you now come home, somebody now starts.
But do you think you want to bring that home though? Because, and you see how I'm able to relate with you, because I've set example of how we had this conversation between my husband and I. I've heard from other people. It just looks like men and women are on this parallel. Like if I've known you, I'm your wife. I should be able to say things to you without, yes sir, can you honorably go and brush your teeth, sir?
Yes, I agree with you. There should be a place of, openness. We should be able to express ourselves. Absolutely, I believe so. But I realize that even in the place of openness, you have to understand the persons you are dealing with. Let me cite a very funny example. The way I was raised, naturally, if I see something that I don't agree with, I tell you straight. Your feeling is not it's your business. I've never been the type that cares about what you feel about me, good or bad. It's your business, really. I don't care. But I realized that the person I am in love with, words, they really touch her. So
as every woman, as every woman.
Okay, maybe every woman. But this thing.
Okay. So you see, in life, I've come to a conclusion that men and women are just on a parallel. I don't think we can meet. Now, it doesn't mean we might not be able to understand ourselves.
Yes.
But I think the way we'd always see things will be different, given our makeup. And that is what will birth my next question.
Okay.
That if men Because we women too are trying to understand you men. So if men were to have a user manual, what would be the first 3 instructions? Let's even start from there.
Respect him.
Okay, respect.
Respect. Respect. And you know, this thing about respect, it means different things to different people. So that's why there is no general user manual for men, so to speak. It's about you knowing
the man you are
dealing with. For example, the way I was brought up, kneeling or prostrating means absolutely nothing to me. I don't even see it. You know, some people collect something from them with your left hand. I don't even see those kind of things because my dad didn't raise us to be prostrators and kneeling. Up till tomorrow, it feels very straight to me when I get somewhere and people are there, I'm like, this is, you understand? So you can't get me like that. You know, that's
not respect to you.
That's not respect to me. For me, respect is the image of the husband you project outside. That's respect for me. So I think the language of respect is now different from people to people. What is respect language, if I can say something like that? So it's about understanding what it likes, what it does not like.
Or it's the projection of your husband to your family, even your own family.
Absolutely. Those are the important things to me.
Okay, what would be the second on the manual?
Okay, let's go there.
Okay, what would be the second on the manual?
Okay, let's go there. I think it will be sex.
I just knew since you licked your lips. You know people have mannerisms. He licked his lips and I just knew something erotic was coming. Okay, yeah?
I think it will be sex. And you know, there's another funny thing about sex for a man. It's not just the action. It's the environment. Sex for a man, you know, you can give the feeling like your wallet is too much. Let me give you. That's not what I want. I know you are under pressure. Me too, I'm under pressure. But let us forget our pressure.
And have pleasure.
And enjoy this moment together. You understand? Sometimes
it should not be like an obligation.
Oh no, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. You see, I have tried to study why some men cheat. Some good men, you know, averagely decent guys. There are some men that are just, you know,
goats. And not
not
greatest of all.
Actually, I tell people that there is always different versions of something. There is what is called nonsense version of men. If you go for that, sorry, there's nothing you can do about your matter. But I'm saying that there are some responsible guys that you just find them in those kind of. And one of those things is that, although, of course, people's realities are different, we should also balance that out. Somebody that is a full-time, sex person cannot, your wife has a lot of responsibilities and all that. So, but what I'm trying to say is that there is a way he gets it out there that you don't give him inside. It's not just about the doing. You know, when you are talking to your husband and you're like, is it sex that you just think about? There are some dry jokes. Personally, I find irritating when we are in the middle of all those kind of dry nonsense jokes. Is this everything you are thinking in your head? Come on, don't tell me that. I've been working. This is the time to do this one. Do it well. Forget emotions. Don't give me some dry jokes, all those nonsense talk about. Let me have it how I want it. Then after we are done, we can start. Then some people start talking.
But I have an exception to that. Let you have it how you want it. But there are two people in this.
Okay. I see another perspective. Interesting.
But I get your point.
But we are
You're
talking
trying
from
to
the men's
say,
perspective
of
now.
course,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have bought in. I understand the want. You want your woman to want it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing
Sometimes
wrong
even
with...
initiate it.
Oh my God, that's the best part. You know, women have been, I don't know, maybe it's the society or I don't know if it's women's biology, you know, women like to be chased.
And so it is the culture.
Yeah.
For a long time in marriage, I as bold as I look on the outside, it got to a time I had to tell my husband, you know, I used to be shy to say I want it. It looks like he has never said that to me.
Yes.
But that's the thinking, like, it's just how we're built. But let's not drag that out too much. What will be the third thing on the manual before we go to our next question?
Okay. So naturally, what people would have thought I would say is food. But really, it's not everybody
that is freaked by food.
That is freaked by food. I think the third thing I would want to say is that let us respect agreement.
Oh, agreement.
Let me explain. Okay, I'm going to cite a very personal example now. So there was a time as a family we wanted to buy a car, you know. So, and we were expecting our baby at that time. So I told my wife, this money that we have, once we buy this car, we may not be able to do naming ceremony as, you know, people want to do naming ceremony, do that kind of thing. And the response will be, oh, okay. Then after I buy the car, you now come and say, you know, the family people, excuse me, we agreed on this thing together. Don't come back. I don't know what irritates my mother. When both of us have agreed on a direction, don't bring emotions back to it. It's frustrating, especially when there is really nothing the man can do about it. We have explained the situation. We both agree that this is the path we want to go. And you know in your heart of heart that this is the right path to take. Both of you have agreed, signed by the Senate. Then you now come back.
Okay, because we women could be emotional, sentimental, and I get it.
I'll be like, Tobike said we should do that thing. I'll be like, excuse me? What are you talking me? Once we agree on a thing, I know your emotions can fly everywhere, but let's remember that we agreed to do this thing. And there is nothing a man likes like knowing that you still got his back on this matter, that we are in it together. Because what you start doing when you start talking like that is you are giving him the vibe that you are in this alone. So after a while, you now see the man that he takes his decision by himself. He goes all the way by himself. He doesn't want to involve because he knows that the you that we agree now, in another 20 minutes, you come back and say, that matter. Like,
and we have our way with it, like, you first swell up. All right, we have to go really. But I see that there's a lot that we have to hear from you men. Maybe we need to invite more men on the E.B.U.N show. We'll work towards that. But before I let you go, I know the time is up. What does emotional support mean to men? Let's just make that brief before we go. How would men interpret emotional support?
Anything that supports his peace. That's emotional support for man. Because a man's world is trouble, hunting, fighting, doing this. So every man wants that place of peace, you know. Anything that will upset that peace, you are already a problem. Whatever, sometimes it can be that your timing for an argument may be wrong. I'm trying to balance a deal, a multi-million naira deal that will take me to another level. I'm thinking through it. You now come and say, hey, you dropped something, you dropped cup on the table. What are you talking about? So sometimes anything that upsets our peace, that's just let him have his peace, especially when he's going through something. Because a man can be going through something and still be smiling. That does not mean that he's not going through something. We are not wired to start whining about what we are going through. So especially when you start talking to man and you see that just just let it rest. That piece is important.
Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for
thank you for being sincere on things that matter to men and things that you guys have held to your chest for a long time. So I see that men and women may not agree, but we should seek to understand ourselves.
Exactly.
We should seek to understand ourselves, because we can't be here saying that, why should it always be women who are under pressure? But you see, I've come to learn that a lot of men, especially in this side of the world, have learned to be man by keeping a lot of things inside. We should allow men to talk to us. We've heard they crave respect, they crave sex, and they crave our respect of mutual agreement. And that will be it on this edition of the E.B.U.N show. Please subscribe, like, and share. Bye.
Mine, I didn't know I was pregnant for like 3 months. My both of them.
Wow.
I didn't know I was. I didn't know I was pregnant, the first one. So I was like 3 months gone. I was still working.
Wow.
Like I always, the last wedding I attended, you needed to see the girdle that I wore. Yeah, one of my friends' wedding.
On 3 months pregnancy?
Yes.
Wow.
It was so tight. Like, how can I be pregnant? And he was looking at me like, I went, I did the test, I collected, I gave it to him. You see? She said, Madam, you're pregnant. I said,
you see what?
Yeah. It was
Are you for real?
I was like, I said, pregnant. And I started thinking, hey, you're pregnant. How do I
Well,
tell
you're
my
not doing the
mom?
do. Girl!
I was just having fun. I was like aloof.
Wow.
Looking
It wasn't
at-
love at first sight.
Looking at me, not seeing my baby. Looking at me, taking care of my baby. I was not with it. Yeah, this is something I don't think I've had the conversation about, even with my husband.
I'm sure my husband was scared, because I had myself leave my body a number of times. It's something I don't think it's something I want to share often. Though we should talk about it, because some other people would have gone through the same
I
thing.
wouldn't know how to explain or feel like it's normal.
So they gave me my baby, and I was just looking at her. They dropped her on my chest, and I was just like,
What should I do with it?
what should I do with this baby? Plus, she was now white. She came with Lanugo.
Yeah,
Where
that
did
was
they
my
see
baby
this
too.
white thing?
That
Say,
took
"This is
mine
my
away to
baby."
resuscitate. And I was saying, husband, follow them. Whatever the case, just follow them so they don't change my baby. That was the only thing that came to my head.
If we were to ask your father, what advice do you think he would give us on staying young?
He would say have sex every day, 3-4 times a day.
He would say that.
You asked me, I've given you the answer you want.
Some would say it's a men's world, and others would say, hey God, Holy Spirit at this point. I should. And that will be it on the E.B.U.N show for this edition. Bye.
Thank you.
Wait.
You come.
Yeah.